Welcome, adventurers, survivors, and obviously movie lovers. It's The Movie Date with Rob and Zach.
I am Rob.
And I'm Zach.
And we are here today to do another episode of the podcast. Obviously, that's why you clicked on it.
Or did you think it was something else? Because we can't really give you something else. This is it. This is what you're getting.
Yeah, what were you up to? What else did you think this was? Were you doing something on the internet that you weren't supposed to be doing, and you flipped over to a lame podcast to distract your parents as they burrow down your door?
Well, you're in luck. Because we are just that distraction.
Just boring enough to make your parents leave you alone, but just entertaining enough that you might
just stick around.
Stick around and keep listening to the episodes.
Today, what are we doing today, Rob?
What are we doing today?
Yeah.
We're doing the podcast.
No, I mean, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Tomb Raider.
The Raider of Tombs.
Raider of Tombs.
Tomb Raider.
And I guess video game movies at the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was excited about this one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've mentioned video games numerous times on the podcast.
You're out of the two of us, out of the two people that are on this podcast, you're the 50% chance that one of them was going to be a bigger video game enthusiast than the other one.
And wouldn't you know it, Tomb Raider just came out, so we just had to go see it.
What were your expectations?
Honestly, my expectations weren't that high. There's the curse of video games, which we'll talk about.
Sure.
And there's also the fact that it's like the reboot thing is like four levels deep with this movie. It's a reboot of a rebooted video. It's the film reboot of. Okay, so the video game franchise got rebooted.
I saw your face start to buffer there. The spinning wheel came on.
And they made a movie about the rebooted franchise.
Yeah.
So, but in film, this would be the rebooted franchise of the Tomb Raider movies that had Angelina Jolie in them.
Correct.
So yeah, it's kind of like Hollywood muddled.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any of the other Tomb Raider movies, so I didn't feel that. Because you leaned over to me at one point and said that in the movie, and I was like, it just looks like, it feels like a movie to me.
The rebootness is 4 levels deep.
Yeah, I remember, it's not like I don't remember those movies. It's like Angelina Jolie when she was at her most scrumptious.
Sure.
So, but like, that's about all I remember about those movies. I think Daniel Craig is in one of them.
He is, isn't he? He's like her...
Before he was badass James Bond,
he's like her boyfriend or something.
I can't remember.
They fly wingsuits.
Gerard Butler's in the second one before he did 300, so he wasn't all
that's
shredded.
The one I'm thinking of. Yeah. See, they're unremarkable and forgettable. The Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah.
As a Tomb Raider fan, they're unremarkable to me.
Sure, fair enough. I don't disagree with any of that.
Okay, so you don't disagree with any of that.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree that the other Tomb Raider movies are just kind of like whatever.
What did you think you were walking into?
I thought I was walking into I thought it was going to be a cool stylized reboot, and to a certain degree it was. I thought it was going to be sort of bland and forgettable, and I guess
which it kind of was.
But because my expectations were to the floor with most video game movies. There's only a few video game movies that I had expectations for, and I walked out like, that was all right. But this one, they were at the floor, and I walked out going, that was all right. That was okay. I wouldn't hate to see another one.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having it on the TV or something.
Yeah.
You know, just playing in the background.
I think this is about as serious as you can take a movie like Tomb Raider. You know, a movie about, because I don't know anything about the games.
I think they could have made it more visceral and more down to earth. It still felt a little hammy and shoehorny.
Sure, I know some of the games are very there's magic and there's sort of mysticism and stuff, and we don't know. This one kind of plays it pretty straight and narrow for the most part. Mm-hmm. But I thought that it was, I didn't walk out going, that was amazing, but I was like, I like that she's not, we've talked about this before, when they do female action heroes, I don't like it when they just make her the male action hero with boobs. They just make her the strong silent type, but she's kind of funny, she's kind of charming.
Attitude, got a style all her own.
Yeah, and she's a scrapper, there's two kinds of action heroes. There's the male Mary Sues, the Gary Stews, I think they're called, where they're just kind of invincible, like John Wick. Like, I love John Wick. I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying, like, we like watching him beat
you're-
everybody.
Yeah.
But, like, and then there's people like, this woman who she takes her lumps, she gets stabbed, and stuff keeps going bad in the movie to her. And I was like, kind of makes you root for her a little bit, even if it does feel a little artificial.
Well,
It's definitely, yeah.
It is based on, I think, wholly like a video game. So this is like a particular entry in a video game series
Sure.
too. So it was, to me, trying to stay as close to the source material as it could while still working as a film, which I'm starting to appreciate that more, I guess.
Yeah.
Like taking stuff from books to film and TV to fit, like, those transitions and how you have to add or cut stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, like, haven't played video games in a long time. The last video game series I remember being like really on board with was like the Assassin's Creed games, and even those sort of kind of fell off somewhere near the end of their. I mean, they're still going, but like I haven't played the last 2 or 3. I know it's in Egypt now, which sounds cool.
Yeah.
Last one I played was the pirate one, and I was like, this is pretty cool because there's no future parts where you're back in the present having to climb up a building or
Those future
something.
parts are pretty lame.
They're
Yeah.
pretty lame. You just get to go to pirate places and hunt whales, and it's all the cool stuff with none of the
Well,
bullshit.
the reboot that this movie's based on is supposed to bring Tomb Raider to a more like realistic setting.
Sure.
Make her a brutalizer, make her a survivor, make her go through all this crazy torture and torment. Not just jumping across cliffs and picking up things.
Yeah.
Which I feel like this movie did a lot of, but not near to the degree that you experience in the video game.
Yeah.
I forget what was the rating of this movie? PG-13?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then I guess it got pretty raw for PG-13.
Yeah, she kills a dude.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Wait.
Not gonna can't do the spoilers yet.
We
Look,
see
it's an
this time.
it's nobody important, but it's an action movie.
Let's just go ahead and get it off the. She does kill a dude.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the best parts of the movie for me.
Yeah.
Is that really great emotional impact of
Yeah, she doesn't
kill.
she doesn't just take it lightly. But after
Tomb Raider
that,
is not Batman. She kills dudes.
yeah. Batman kills dudes too. We've been over this in the last movie. Or no, we didn't, but at some point we will.
He started killing.
Batman's no kill
When
code
When
is
Zack Snyder
mostly
got a hold
stupid.
of him, he started killing dudes.
No, he was killing before that. He kills in all of his movies except Batman and Robin. I know because I've counted. Don't get me started with superheroes again, Zach.
Oh, okay.
I will put this comic book right up your rectum.
Well, in this movie, they explicitly state at the beginning of the movie, with a little quip from Laura Croft, aka the Tomb Raider, she goes, "What am I, a superhero?" Or something to that, something
Really?
like
Did
that.
she say that?
Yeah, she says, "I'm not a superhero," or something, like at the very, very, very beginning of the movie.
I don't remember that.
She does.
Sounds like a perfectly fine quip. I'm sure
It was a little corny.
I'm sure I listened to that and I was like, yeah, whatever.
It was pretty corny. But yeah, so comparisons more with the movie to the game it's based off of.
Sure.
It adds a lot of stuff that's not in the game and takes away a lot of stuff that's in the game. Mainly characters. So it strips away a good portion of the video game's supporting cast.
Does this follow the plot? Like I haven't split.
It does.
I
It
haven't-
does follow the plot, which is like kind of surprising.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about these games. I don't even know what they're about. I just thought they were like female Indiana Jones, but magic is real. But I guess it's real in Indiana Jones too. So I don't know why I would say that.
These faces are
There's
melting.
the
in
leap
that.
of faith,
There's
and then
magic.
there's the guy who pulls another man's heart out. I don't know if that's magic, but it's pretty brutal.
Temple of Doom's still my favorite Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's ridiculous that you just said that.
What?
That's another episode entirely.
Okay, we'll have to do it. Why Zach likes Temple of Doom, a thesis.
Better than both of the other ones? I don't believe you.
I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest Sean Connery fan.
Sean Connery is a national treasure. All right? You slow your roll. Go back to your notes.
Okay.
What's next on the notes?
Okay, so yeah, the movie strips away a good portion of the game's supporting cast.
Which I think is perfectly fine. Knowing nothing about the game, I have no qualms about that.
Like, it works, but it doesn't, because that's where you get a lot of your emotional impact in the game. And in the game, her dad's been dead for a while, and he doesn't come back ever, and it's...
Are we going to
Shit.
spoilers? Oh, we're in spoilers now.
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah. Official, no spoilers.
We need to have, like, an episode where we just like we need like
We
a
don't do
spoiler
no
jar.
spoilers.
Like that's a
Yeah,
good
but if
one.
I did that, you wouldn't be able to afford it. You'd just be like, "Can I get you the next spoiler jar, please? I spent all my money on the Burger King on the way over here, and I don't have change for the spoiler jar, Rob." I'm like,
Then-
"Yeah, I got it."
then
Clank,
we'll-
clank, clank.
Then we'll do. I don't know, but we need to do an episode that's completely spoiler free because I don't think either one of us would be able to do it.
No, we wouldn't. Almost like there's no reason to do that because we wouldn't be able to do it.
We might as well just call
Let's
this.
just keep fumbling through each episode. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
So official spoiler time now, people.
Yeah, strips away all the supporting cast. Robs the movie of emotional impact. Okay, that we got that.
But ironically, I did feel a lot of the emotional impact in this movie. Like the flash, in my notes, one of the things I have written down is flashbacks, heart emoji, because I did like the flashbacks.
Oh, you did?
And I felt that they were very.
Don't
they're,
leave,
they're
Dad.
not. They're not amazing. This is. I mean, it's not that kind of movie. But like, I did feel something. I felt the hole inside of her, and then when he comes back, I felt really happy for her. So I was like, no, so they did their job with that. Also, I have Gul'dan equals drunk boat captain guy cool. Now, let me decode that for you.
No, he's not in the game, man.
Yeah.
The boat captain guy is like completely fabricated for the movie character.
Sure, fine, whatever, I don't care.
And he
Still-
replaces like 6
Still
characters.
thought he was cool. You're not deflating my argument. No, that guy is. I think his name is Daniel Wu.
Yeah.
I think he's from Into the Badlands. He plays the main character from that show, and he's a real badass.
Oh, no kidding.
And he also plays in another video game movie. He plays Gul'dan in Warcraft via mocap. So yeah, I thought he was cool. Thought he was a pretty cool character.
Salty sea dog type of dude.
Yeah, at some point they start they add weird like plot lines for him that I didn't really care about. Like your father, they said something like your father sacrificed himself for us. We're gonna repay that debt. And I was like, I don't care. Get back to the other stuff.
Back to being badass.
Yeah, but I also have cool booby traps. Me likey.
Yeah. That's probably my most favorite part of the movie, Rob.
Yes.
Is they do, aside from deviating from the game of which the movie is based on, they do a bunch of fan servicing, like in the middle, towards the end of the movie, like the last leg, and it's when they go into the tomb finally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. What the movie's about. So
Yeah.
the movie's. Yeah,
it's about tomb raiding.
We should probably do that earlier. But so the story of the movie is it starts off with a voiceover from Lara Croft's father, and he says 1,000 years ago or something there was a empress of Japan called Himiko who was
Yeah.
feared by everyone as this powerful, evil, dark sorceress.
And she brought death and destruction on the land, so
Yeah,
they
and
locked her away in
They
a
buried her
mountain
alive inside of a giant mountain tomb with booby traps
in the middle of the sea.
in the middle of the sea. I feel like there's no more unexplored parts of the sea, by the way. This whole thing, like, it's in the middle of the Devil's Sea. How will we get there? How will we get off? And I'm like, there's no places that we don't know now. Are there?
GPS.
Maybe there are. But, like, I feel like no one sails through this part of the sea. And I'm like, statistically, that's impossible. Someone has to.
In the game, I think there's like always a storm brewing and rolling out,
Lame.
like around that area or something.
No, but yeah, so she stumbles on her father's old notes, I guess, because she doesn't want the money from her dad's inheritance. They've said her dad was dead for forever. She's working as a bike courier. There's a really cool bike chase sequence earlier in the movie.
Stuff that's not in the game, they give her like a pretty good introduction, like an intro, what Lara Croft is like before she starts going on adventures, and they don't show that in the video game. I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. But no, I mean, she's doing the bike courier thing. She gets in trouble for there's a sequence where has to keep the paint away from the other bikers for money, and she almost does, and then she screws up and almost, like, she flips over a car or something and almost gets herself killed, and then she gets bailed out by a lady, and the lady tells her to
The manager of like the Croft estate, essentially.
you need to sign these papers and say your dad's dead and come take all this money. I would have been like, yeah, I'll sign the papers. I never understood why she didn't want to sign the papers.
Because she's independent, man. She don't.
Doesn't have nothing. You know
She
what?
don't
You know
need
what
no
makes you. You know
inheritance.
what makes you independent, Zach? Lots of money. You're gonna tell me you're independent? She's independent. Bitch, you better sign that paper and take that money.
She's conservative, I guess.
Whatever. But anyway, so she eventually, she meets with the people and she's gonna sign the paper and get the inheritance and stuff. But they give her a little puzzle thing from her dad, and it leads her to the secret underground layer in their tomb. They have like a tomb at the Laura Croft estate,
Like
or
a family
whatever.
crypt.
Yeah, and you press a button, and the bat cave opens up, and
Really
you go
cool.
down. It was all right. It's just a bunch of books.
It's more like desk space.
If I would have opened that up, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, secret society. Oh, lame! Look at all these books. Boo!"
Oh my
That's
gosh.
exactly what I would have been like. But yeah. So she opens that up and she finds a videotape of her father talking about Himiko, this Japanese empress who was going to end the world, and they found the tomb, and he's got to stop these people from getting there, or before he does.
Yeah, it kind of hits you with the save the world crap like pretty early on.
Yeah.
Thought it was heavy-handed and really corny.
Yeah, a little bit. Like the dad though. Dad's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked him.
good performances.
Yeah. But eventually, so then she vows to find her father, and she tracks down the paper trail, which leads her to China, which leads her to cool sailorboat drunk man,
Cool sailorboat drunk man with a shotgun.
Gul'dan from Warcraft, and then we go to the island, and then everything else happens in the movie.
And they crash. Then they encounter the villain of the movie, played by Walton
Walton
Yeah.
Goggins, who's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a
I'll
pretty
give that
good,
to him.
pretty good villain.
He needs to be in more stuff. That
No,
guy.
again, deviated from the game,
Don't
but I
care.
didn't mind it as much
I don't care. I
because
don't
it
know.
was Walton Goggins, and
Here's the
he's
thing
pretty
about-
convincing
here's
as a
the-
villain.
Yeah, he is. I think he's great in a lot of stuff. He was in Sons of Anarchy, where he plays like a transvestite, like prostitute,
Wow,
and he's really good. It's very interesting. He's good in a lot of stuff. He's good in Hateful Eight,
crazy guy.
Django. He's
I
in
love
that.
him in Crazy Eight
Yeah.
or
No,
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Crazy Eight.
Crazy Eight. But no, he's good in a lot of stuff. He should be in more stuff. He's in that movie. He's in that show Justified with Timothy Olyphant.
Justified.
Yeah, and he plays Boyd Crowder.
Boyd
His
Crowder.
name sounds like every redneck uncle.
Jesus.
I'm not. I'm saying it's in the middle of like some bayou or something. So everyone's got that name.
It's always in the middle of
So it's Tuck Buckford or Jim Saddleass or something. Anyway, it's fine though. He's good though. He's really good in this, and he really plays a guy who is just exhausted and he's ready to go home, and he'll kill people.
He's so ready to go home, he'll kill you to go home.
Just be like, please hurry up. Like there's a sick guy who can't work anymore, and like he needs to rest, and he just like
Shoots him in
bam.
the head.
And usually I'm like,
Just right
usually I
there.
think that's generic when a villain does that. If there's not like,
But he did it with just
lot
such
of
a
build-up.
weariness. Like,
He did it with such a like, I'm so tired. I'm gonna pop this guy, and you guys get back to work. So I was like, yeah, I liked it. I liked that especially.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to find Himiko's tomb. That stuff goes awry.
Yeah. Let's get to the traps. I like the traps.
Traps are cool.
So when we're in the movie there, we get to the point where there's the they've gotten into the tomb. They've, opened the doors and they've descended down that giant sinkhole. First of all, how would anybody get out of that?
By the same way they got down with the little like Batman gripper thingy.
But like 1,000 years ago?
Big
no, I'm saying, like-
ladders, rope ladders.
I don't know if there's a ladder that's big. That's that big.
Got a lot of vines on that island.
I guess. I feel like if you're down there,
They
you're-
just did, Rob.
I feel
They
like you're
just did.
okay. Fair enough. I feel like you're down there for good if you do that, though. Like if you're putting the demon empress down in the hole, you're like, yeah, we're gonna die down here, so might as well just stay here forever. Sad though.
So yeah, the traps. They had just about every classic Tomb Raider trap you
Spike,
could think of.
spike through the ground thing.
Spike floors through the
I'm
ground.
always a proponent of spikes through the ground.
Let's see, what else did they have? They had a floor that fell away,
Yeah.
which didn't really make any sense. It looked crazy on screen, and it fell away just like that, like a floor in a video game would.
Yeah.
So they just kind of like handed it to you, like on like a nostalgia platter.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
It was tied to a color trap that I did not understand. You had to.
Green for life.
I don't know what that means. Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
That-
I liked the trap, but I was still like, I don't get this.
Rolling Stones.
What about Rolling Stones?
They had stones that big giant discs that rolled, gonna crush you.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it separates you from the floor or whatever.
Big long log spikes that rolled down diagonally on either side of the wall.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff.
that's pretty good. I like that.
Escape rooms.
And then we got the. There's one of them when they
No
borrow.
Tomb Raider would be complete without glow sticks. They had the glow sticks.
Yeah, you told me that, and you were really excited about that, and I was like, well,
It's just a thing.
I have glow. I can get a glow stick.
So like, okay, Metal Gear Solid. Snake, he's got his cigarettes. Tomb Raider, she's got her glow sticks. Kind of thing.
How reasonable.
Super Mario, he's got his coins.
I feel like a lot of games have coins, though. I feel like it's not distinct to Super Mario. I feel like the coin sound is more distinct than the coins.
Anyway,
Bring or whatever.
they had glow sticks, and that made me happy.
Yeah, cool enough. I bet you if I liked video games enough, I would probably have kept up with like Easter eggs or whatever. I like video games, but I haven't played any in such a good while.
That's probably one of my most favorite video games of like the last generation, like PS3, 360.
Yeah.
Console generation is that Tomb Raider reboot. It's really good, man. I recommend it.
I believe it. Yeah. I'm not gonna play it, but I would.
Although I don't know if I would recommend this movie to most people.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
This is the crux of the episode.
It was worth a watch.
Is it better? Does it stand on its own as a movie, or do you have to have knowledge of the game to get extra enjoyment out of it? Like I said, my
See, that's a question I should ask you.
My expectations, this is my
Does
opinion.
it stand alone?
This was my expectation. I think when I walked in, I was like, this is gonna probably be bad. And I walked out and I was like, it was okay. And I liked some of the scenes. I liked some of the action stuff. I like her shooting the bow.
Here's a new segment.
The bow was pretty
the
cool.
movie Date with Robin Zack. Was it worth the cost of a ticket?
Yeah, because I didn't pay for it.
There you have it.
No, but if I had paid for it, I would have walked out like that was all right. Would I buy it on video when it came out or whatever? Probably not.
No.
But if they keep the franchise going, I'll probably meander into the theater on discount day and watch it just for the fuck of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Is it? We can get to the
Like, as a fanboy, I liked it for a lot of reasons, and I didn't like it at all for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
So
I think that like a lot of people, there's this weird double-edged sword with video game movies, especially, which is
they never follow the plot of the video game to verbatim.
A lot of times I think that might be part of it, but I think it's like you cannot make a successful video game movie that hinders entirely upon previous knowledge of the game. Mm-hmm. I should not have to go into Warcraft knowing anything about Warcraft. And you're like,
that's a fair assessment.
But they didn't put in this city and this character from the games that makes it amazing. And I'm like, I bet you if that character was in the movie, I still would have been like, whatever. Like, I mean, I think it's unfair to demand that of, if I have to like do reading and research to enjoy your movie's it's probably not very good. So I think that like a lot of video game movies, I think, fall either into this trap or they fall well out of the trap. So I think this movie falls out of the trap because it assumes that you know nothing about the games, and if there might, you said there are Easter eggs, and I probably believe you.
See, I feel you on that. Like I also agree.
And I think
it stands on its own as a film.
As a standalone movie, I think it's solid. No, it's not solid. I use the word solid too much in this podcast. I give too many movies a pass.
Solid.
I think it is slightly above mediocre. Which is a win for a lot of video game movies.
It really is. It really is. Like, so in the realm of video game movies, this is kind of like a 5-star rating. This is kind of like you 9 out of. This is a good thing.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. There's another movie.
They're improving.
When we were in the theater, the trailers. There is another video game movie coming out in a few months. Rampage.
Oh God!
I'm so
Don't
stoked.
Make me watch that.
We're gonna go see it, baby.
It's gonna be so bad.
It's gonna be so perfectly.
It's not even the same animals. There's like a crocodile.
Yeah, it is. There's a crocodile in Rampage, or like a dragony crocodile thing.
I thought it was just the mouse, the The gorilla
The
and the
mouse.
yeah. There's a
There's
mouse.
not a mouse.
There's a mouse.
It's gorilla.
Or a rat.
It's gorilla.
It's a big rat.
It's gorilla wolf thing, and there might be a rat, but you can't make a giant rat and make it convincing. So they probably just scrapped that. You know what? You know
That's
what?
dumb. That's not Rampage.
You know why?
I
This,
always
no,
pick the rat.
Boo. I take umbrage, sir. You know why this is a good idea? I'll tell you why this is a good idea. This game is about nothing, so you can build a good movie
So
around
we'll stick
it.
the Rock in it.
Yes.
Siri movie. Let's stick the Rock in it.
I'm a proponent of put the Rock in
Let's make a
everything.
movie about a fault line. Put the Rock in it.
I'll watch it. I might not like it. The Rock adds 19 extra points of charisma to any movie. He
I'm
does.
sick of the Rock being the Rock for all of these movies.
No, he's great. He's awesome. You're wrong. Look, is it going to be good? I have no idea.
Man, I like the rundown. I like some of the. I like some of Dwayne Johnson's
Rundown
stuff.
is booty.
It's got Christopher Walken in it though.
Is he in that?
And he like cracks a
Remember
whip.
Sean William Scott's in it. It's about all I remember of the rundown.
Sean William Scott's underrated.
I haven't seen him in anything in a while.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic. Here's
Anywho.
here's why Rampage is a good idea. Because, like I just said earlier, video game movies, a lot of the time where they can fall short is you have to have this previous knowledge of these games. And the creative people in the movie, like the screenwriter and the director.
Yeah, but not every video game would make a good synopsis for a movie. Like Rampage, like why?
No, exactly, because Rampage is synopsisless. Synopsisless? It lacks a synopsis. The game is, you're a big monster and you destroy the buildings. It was made in that 80s era where it didn't matter what the movie was about or what the game was about at all. So, like, because of that, you can build a story around it, and all you have to have at the end is you have to have monsters fighting each other. That's why it's perfect. That's why it will probably be the best video game movie.
I hope that movie makes none monies.
Really? I think it'll be probably pretty fun. Like, here's my thing. Like, I think there's this weird backlash. I can smell it on you right now of, like, if it's silly and fun, then we have to hate it. But, like, I think this is a movie that, like, look at some of the other video game movies we
I
have.
just have a feeling it's going to be like, I don't know, like that stupid Godzilla reboot or something. Like, it's just like, I've seen it.
No, it looks
like,
way more fun than the Godzilla reboot. Come on, there's a part where the big, the gorilla is punching the big wolf in the face. It's so dope. There was like zero fighting in that Godzilla reboot. We had to wait all the way till the end. We had to watch Aaron Taylor Johnson not go to his family for an entire movie. Get back to your family, Johnson.
You're hard pressed to get me excited about Rampage.
Fair enough, but we're gonna go see it because I'm gonna make you.
Okay, so what other video game movies have you liked? Because I've seen just about all of the video game movies there are.
I haven't seen Assassin's Creed yet. Everyone tells me it's not very
Except
good.
Assassin's Creed. I haven't seen Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, everyone tells me it's not very good. In fact, my friend said it's quite boring. I've seen, I think, pretty much all
Are there
of
any
them.
that you like really? Are there any that you actually even like?
I do have a soft spot for Warcraft
Really?
because I know nothing about the games. But when
Made a lot of money in China.
yeah, it rode the Pacific Rim wave,
Yeah.
which is like they're getting the international budget in, which I think is fine because not everything has to be catered to Americans. But I liked Warcraft for one reason. I walked into the movie, I knew nothing about the game like whatsoever, and when I was in the movie, I didn't ever feel like I don't know what's going on. Or I don't know where these people. You got the orcs, and you got the people. And that's about all you need to know. There's places they take you to that I'm like, what is that place? I don't understand. Like they use words with a familiarity that the audience doesn't possess, which hinders the movie. It is kind of silly at times. Like it's kind of not silly, but it's a little cheesy. But from what I understand, World of Warcraft is not this isn't Lord of the Rings we're talking about here. It's not like epic fantasy that's like going to win 12 Oscars and make $1 billion.
Right.
It's meant to be a little silly and a little tongue-in-cheek. I thought the orcs in the movie were very compelling, especially the main guy, Duratan, played by Toby Kebbell. Yeah, I thought he was really great. And when he died, I was like, fuck! I was rooting for that guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. And he also dies in like a really brutal, horrible way where the guy sucks the life out of him. I don't know if you've seen Warcraft at all. I just ruined that because that was a really cool
I've just
part.
been thinking of The Rock and that terrible Doom movie, like ever since we mentioned The Rock.
Yeah. I don't hate that. It's whatever. Like people are like, it's so bad. I'm like, is it bad? Is it worse than like all the other movies where there's a tough guy with a bunch of guns who kills monsters or
Like,
zombies
is
or
it
whatever.
worse than Starship Troopers?
That's not a video game movie.
Feels like one.
Starship Troopers, or are you talking about? Was it Battlefield Earth? Which one are you talking about? Starship Troopers
The one that doesn't have John Travolta in it.
That's Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is has a cult following. A lot of people dig that movie for its.
It's supposed to be like a
tongue-in-cheekness.
comedy. I feel.
We can get into this a little. We're getting a little slightly off topic with that. That movie's based off a book by Robert Heinlein, and the book is not tongue in cheek at all.
No.
The director of the movie is the guy who did RoboCop, and he did some other ones that I'm sure I'm not remembering. It's one of his it's a lot of people really like that movie because it's got this tongue in cheek fascist society in it. Meat for the grinder, become a citizen soldier. It's like don't think for yourself, be part of the collective. It's all this very weird fascisty undertones,
Yeah.
which is why when you watch it, those propaganda videos they're funny, but also kind of like, oh, this is awful at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of like it. Also, the visual effects for the time were kind of cutting edge. Like those bugs, I watched it recently. They're not, they don't hold up, but they almost
Not
hold
as good
up.
as Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park does still hold up.
I know,
which
it's
is crazy. You look at that first Brontosaurus or whatever, and I'm like, that looks pretty good.
You know why? I think we were relying too much on the CGI. I think we need a good mix of the practical effects and the CGIs.
Sure. But no, I mean, Starship Troopers is way better than Doom because it's more self-aware. But Carl Urban is in Doom, and that guy's a badass in everything.
Okay, so I kind of have a soft spot for the Street
Urban.
Fighter movie.
What?
Just because
The Jean-Claude Van Damme one?
I think
the
it's
Raul Julia one?
hilarious.
It is hilarious. You're not wrong.
In like a let's watch a D movie kind of way. I kind of love the Street Fighter movie because watching Jean-Claude Van Damme try to be Ryu is just something to behold for me. I think it's hilarious.
Apparently. I don't like it at all. Sorry, Zach. Yeah. No, but as far as video game movies that I like, I think this movie is probably the best one.
Probably. I think
I'm really trying to think and Need for Speed.
Out of
Is
all
that
the
really a
Resident-
video game movie or is it just a racing movie and then they just put Need for Speed over it?
I'd like to feel that it's the latter.
Yeah. My friend saw it and he says it's totally whatever. It might as well just be called, instead of the Fast and the Furious, like the Bold and the Brazen or something like
Let's see.
Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive
I
is the best video game movie.
I thought the Hitman movie was okay.
Never seen it. Either one.
I thought that I didn't like Max Payne for obvious reasons.
Yeah, you keep waxing nostalgically about it every 5 minutes, though. Not on air, like no one's heard you, but you're always like, first time I played Max Payne, it was like a moment of my life. It was like losing my virginity or something. And I
Yeah,
was
man, that was a big one. But anyway,
yeah, I remember that. movie.
so
Mark Wahlberg's in that movie.
out of all the Resident Evil movies, are there any good ones?
The only one I can remember, I can only remember the first one. All the other ones kind of blur together.
Yeah,
I've seen pieces of them. I mean, the first one. If that's the only one that I remember, it's probably the best one.
I wouldn't say that there are any Resident Evil movies that are just absolutely just god awful terrible compared to their source material, but they're wholly unremarkable and unrememorable. Not memorable.
Yeah. No, they're probably pretty bad. I can't remember. I remember the first one. And I remember being it's fine. I'm just tired of them being fine. I want one that's this is great. And that's why I'm Rampage. This is going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be monsters punching each other in the face. If you walk into it there's no character development, go fuck yourself. Who needs it? It's a monster movie.
Well, because you're so excited about it, I guess we might just have to go see Rampage. We'll watch Rampage instead of Infinity War.
No, it's not coming out at the same time, though. Rampage will be coming out after that.
Oh.
Yeah. But look, I think that I think the big problem is with video game movies is one, you're trying to take big stories and condense them down into small 2 to 2.5 hour runtimes,
Yep.
which is very difficult.
That's the problem.
I think that the best way to do it is to just not care that much about the video game part of it, which is will piss all the fans off of the video games. But I think knowing nothing about Warcraft, when I walked out of that movie, I was like, it's a simple story. It's two people trying to live in the same world and there's a bad guy, and he wants to kill them all, but one of the other orcs don't want to do that. The other orcs just want to live in peace or whatever. It's easy enough to follow, and it's got cool. One thing I will say about Warcraft, it's got cool magic.
Yeah.
Like the magic, it has like those weird alchemy circles around their hands with the magical writing or whatever, and it's glowing in blue. I was like, that's dope. More magic should be like that. Because whenever you see magic in Lord of the Rings, it's always like a slightly glowing bubble that Gandalf uses.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, that's lame. You only see, like, the only cool piece of magic we ever see him use, like, he summons lightning down to his sword once. And I was like, I would use that all the time in battle. I would never be defeated. Zach, I would kill them all.
Be your own lightning rod.
Yes.
Be your own
Lightning
Rob.
Rob, yes. No. Any video game movies that you like that are actually good, but not in an ironic way, because that's the coward's way out? Make a stand, Zach? Say
No,
you
I
like
don't think so. It might actually have to be this latest Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah. But you don't like it enough to go see it again.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like it enough to purchase it either. Probably not.
Yeah.
If they decide, like you said, if they decide to continue this, I'll probably definitely see the next
Yeah,
one.
they do set up a sequel at the end,
I like,
which I didn't mind. I wasn't like, oh, sequel bait. I was just like, they do it in such a kind of quick, simple way that I was like, yeah, I'll watch another one if I have to. I really want to see just like another Warcraft. I'd watch that before I'd watch another one of these because I want to
Fair enough.
see more.
You know, there were
monsters.
rumors about them doing a live-action movie based off of The Last of Us.
Yeah, and there's also they're going to be doing what are they called? Uncharted.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uncharted.
but it's, from what I understand, it's the kid who plays Spider-Man is doing it.
What?
Young Nathan Drake. Which I
That's
was
just
like,
weird.
and I was like, that's a mistake. Just get
Nathan Fillion to do it.
get Nathan Fillion, put stubble on him,
Yeah.
and throw him out of a plane.
Sure, he's getting a little older. Who cares?
Yeah, or like Hugh Jackman, or someone that looks like Nathan Drake.
Rugged and handsome.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's not rugged.
yeah, he's fun. I like Spider-Man. I'm not
I
shitting on
like Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland.
Yeah, but like, it's just like it's a
He's no Nathan Drake.
yeah, that's just a weird choice.
I'd take Justin Timberlake as Nathan Drake.
No, thank you. He'll do some squeaky R&B number. I don't want that. I don't want that in my Nathan Drake movie. I've never even played those games, by the way. What? What are you looking at?
The time.
Oh, 37 minutes. We got time, buddy.
Yeah, loads of time.
Yeah. No, but
I feel like we kind of covered Tomb Raider, though.
no, there's other stuff that we could talk about. I want to talk more about like video game movies though. Like I think that like there've been a lot of video game movies that almost saw the light of day. Like we talked about Halo became District 9.
Yeah.
Should have been Halo. I like District 9. I'm not shitting on it, but like Halo would have been pretty dope.
What if they made a Call of Duty movie?
They're making a Call of Duty extended universe, as they call it.
What?
Like a universe of movies, like the Marvel universe, but like it's
Do
all Call
tell.
of Duty. That I just did.
Not
tell
a
you.
fan of the games, but that's all the knowledge you have on it.
I mean, pretty much. I feel like you don't need to make a universe. Just keep making like Fast and Furious movies are not part of the Fast and Furious universe. They're just Fast and Furious. Like just keep making Call of Duty movies, and that'll be it.
In a world where they answer the calls of duty.
Duty. Anyway, no, but apparently they're working on that. I can't remember who's doing it or whatever, but like, yeah. I mean, that'll probably be fine. I think the best way to do it is what Rampage is going to be. It's you take a game that has a nothing plot. A plot that nobody gets upset about
You
if
could
you
do
don't
a
adapt.
Pac-Man movie or like a Donkey Kong movie, and it'd be
No,
just
because-
fine in your eyes.
No, because there's the point of those games is like you have to dodge obstacles to get up at like there is no point to Rampage except you have to destroy these buildings. That's my point. It's like so you can add characters and there's no fans of Rampage like you and they were like they didn't include this thing from Tomb Raider. They didn't include this character. So this movie's bullshit. Like it's like for Rampage, no one's gonna be like they didn't include this kind of building
The
that
rat.
gets destroyed. I don't even know if there is a rat.
There is
I think this is the Mandela
I'm
effect.
about to prove this.
I don't believe you.
We're about to Google it, Rob.
But look,
Right
I
here.
think that the way to do is you pick a game that has this weird like a weird nothing plot that you can mold a movie around. Because I'd rather see a good movie than a mediocre movie based on a good video game. I think that's just sort of where I'm at.
Okay, I think you might be right.
I know, there is no rat in Rampage.
Darn.
There's a wolf. There's a big old scary wolf.
Yeah, that's a wolf.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I always thought that was a rat.
Mandela effect. Is it the Bernstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears? Who knows?
But that's not a crocodile. That's like a dinosaur.
Let me see that.
That's like a Godzilla-looking monster.
Well, yeah, but it's like a Godzilla monster that has muscles and looks like He-Man. So they have to make it somewhat realistic. So big gorilla, big wolf, and then a giant crocodile. This is the smartest way you can make a video game movie. It's about nothing. That's why it's genius.
It's the Seinfeld of video game
Now,
movies.
it could come out and it could just be Transformers bullshit. It could be just buildings coming down, people looking at computer monitors.
What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a Michael Bay fuckfest, man.
Or it could be Pacific Rim fun, which is it's about nothing, but we get to watch movies about monsters fighting other monsters, which is always cool.
I'm just ready for Godzilla versus Mothra. Let's do that again. Let's just recycle it all.
I don't know about that. That's not even a video game. They're doing
Yeah, but then you got me thinking about big monsters and kaiju and stuff.
They're doing Godzilla versus King Kong. From the King Kong from Kong Skull Island, he's gonna fight 2014's Godzilla.
I hope 2014 Godzilla loses.
Why?
He doesn't deserve to win after that crappy movie.
I thought that movie was fine.
It was just fine.
They're all just fine. Like a lot of these video game movies, I can't muster up anger towards them because I'm just like I don't have anything invested. If they made like a Metal Gear Solid movie out of like the first one or two,
it would be terrible.
I would just be like,
because it would not even have an inkling of the intricacies of the video game.
Such as expound upon your point, sir.
All the intrigue and all the plot points and all of the crazy things that, that only happens, in the realm of video games. That player interaction.
I feel like they could get pretty close, though.
Like the part where Psycho Mantis is like, put your controller down on the table, and then makes your controller vibrate, and it's like, ooh, I'm moving your controller.
I don't remember that part.
Doesn't the first
all I remember is like you're sneaking around hallways, you're shooting people, you're making them give away their dog tags. I remember you fight creepy monster weirdos that are weirdly supernatural, but also maybe not. I don't know. Like Vamp. Is he a vampire that lives forever, or is he not?
I mean, he'd be there. Look, Metal Gear Solid is ripe with characters and major plot points that would lend themselves to a movie. But I would rather if they were going to do a Metal Gear Solid adaptation, I would rather it be like a series or something that could handle all of that exposition. Because Metal Gear Solid's got a lot.
How long is the playthrough of Metal Gear Solid? I feel like it's like 10 hours.
Depends on how you play, I guess.
Yeah. But I feel like if it's 10 hours, that means there's a lot of running back and forth and repetitiveness. You siphon all that out, you're left with enough to make a 2.5 hour movie out of. I feel like. Like there was a guy like when The Last Airbender came out and he got horrible reviews because it's a bad movie. But like when that movie came out, there was a guy on YouTube who took the first season of the show, got rid of all the filler episodes, and condensed it into a 2.5 hour movie. And he was like, that's how... So, like, the idea that, like, it can't be done, it's too perfect. Like, I hear that all the time. And then it happens, and it's like, oh, that's really good. You just have to do it. Like, people say, like, The Lord of the Rings is unfilmable.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then, like, it's probably one of the best fantasy franchises of all time. It's the best fantasy franchise
Yeah,
of all
but
time.
purists, people who...
are stupid and dumb and ruin things for everybody. My English teacher was like that in high school. I was like, he had Tolkien quotes on his wall in his class. I was like, have you seen The Fellowship of the Ring? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, it's awesome. He fights a fire demon. It's so cool. And he was like, where's Tom Bombadil? Where's all these other bullshit songs that we need? And I was like, who cares?
That's an integral part of the
It is
Fellowship of the Ring.
absolutely not.
The Wraith, dude.
No, it is not.
It so is.
The Wraith.
Yeah.
The Wraiths are in there.
No, like, there's another Wraith, like, whenever they get kidnapped or whatever, when they're still trying to escape the Shire. Bruh, have you not, like, read Lord of the Rings?
I have. I'm just listening to Jared downstairs doing his beatboxing.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
I'm sure that's coming through the microphone right now. Sorry, listeners.
We're gonna edit that out?
We can't. How can I edit that out?
Why can't we?
Because then I would be editing out pieces of our audio of us talking. This is great content. We're talking about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've read Lord of the Rings. I just think, like, is that stuff really more important than, like, the Mines of Moria? Like, is the stuff that we get so unfaithful to the books? Because I think it's pretty faithful. It's like 70% faithful. And I think that's
Well,
pretty good.
It's better than what you're gonna get with most adaptations.
I think so.
But it can
Unless
we-
you just do a TV series, and then I think everyone says, it should be a
Look,
TV series like Game of Thrones. And
I
I'm
like Peter Jackson's, Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think his Hobbit movies are like garbage.
Yeah.
Hot, stinky garbage.
I don't know if I go that far, but they're definitely not as good as the Lord of the Rings because it's the opposite. They take a tiny book, and they stretch it across 3 movies.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking 3 movies and having to condense 3 books and condensing them down. Into
I like
3
it better when they have to condense rather than stretch and make up stuff.
Sure, that's probably true. I probably do too.
So maybe that's why why the Tomb Raider movie works is because they were able to lift a good 80% of the movie from the game.
Sure. And
Even as far as just aesthetic goes.
And I think some games lend themselves better to being made out of, like, to being having a movie made from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Tomb Raider it's just you make an Indiana Jones movie.
It's a linear story, mostly.
That too, but I mean, also, like, think about a game like you can't make. They're making a movie out of this, but I don't know how. Tetris. How do you make a movie out of, like, Tetris? I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my Lanta. Why?
Your face says it all. But no, I think like some games lend themselves better to movies because they're cinematic stories. Like if they made a game out of, like, Soul Reaver, or a movie,
Yeah, I would go see that.
a movie out of Soul Reaver.
Hell yeah.
By the same people that did Tomb Raider, I think. Crystal
Dynamics.
Yeah.
Old school Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Soul Reaver is one of the most, like, epic cinematic stories you could ever
Heck,
do.
probably one of the most underrated video games, I'd wager, too.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Legacy of Kain series is great.
Yeah. Except the first one. Blood Omen. The first
Yeah,
one.
Blood Omen's
But that's only because it's like, it's got those, like, late 80s graphics where it's like playing the Legend of Zeldas on your Game Boys and stuff. It just looks like that. But when you get to, like, Soul Reaver, you're like, oh my god, this is only PlayStation 1. Like, you look at those, like, gameplay visuals, they still hold up for the most part.
Yeah.
But, like, that, I would watch that big epic vampire anti-hero saga. Like, that lends itself to a movie. But, like,
I would watch, like, a Crisis movie or something.
sure. But I think what's an example of a video game that doesn't lend itself to a movie? It's not cinematic enough. It's not built. Like, I would say Call of Duty doesn't really do that. Maybe some of the newer ones have stories, but the
Mario.
but the older ones, well, they made a movie out of it.
Pretty much anything 16-bit and below is not going to lend itself to being a movie.
Yeah, no, that's true. They're talking about, like, I think someone was mentioning, like, they should make a Shadow of the Colossus game.
Do animated Final Fantasy movies count?
Sure.
Yeah, Advent Children wasn't that bad.
Yeah. What about the one before that? The Final Fantasy, The
Spirit Within. That was just a weird fucking movie, dude.
I remember watching that, and at the time I watched it, I was a kid, and it was like, we were talking about Lost in Space.
It had
and we both
nothing to
liked
do
it.
with Final Fantasy, really.
Yeah, but you watch it, and you're like, it's still cool, though. They're fighting aliens and big orange
Yeah.
monsters. Now I watch it now, and I'm just like, I don't even know what this is. Like, it exists. Alec Baldwin is one of the characters.
It's just here.
Yeah, but I don't know. But, like, what's an example of, like, other video games that don't work? Like, could you make a Legend of Zelda movie
I think you could.
with a protagonist that never speaks?
I think you could.
I don't know. Sounds kind of. I'm skeptical of that.
I could wager that, like, a lot of video games would make really good animated movies.
Such as?
Like Legend of Zelda. I think, like, heck, didn't they have, like, an animated series for a while, like a TV show?
I don't know. Did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
Maybe.
The Adventures of Link.
I just don't know like how you build a game around a character that doesn't say anything but
Then you make a Crash Bandicoot movie.
Yeah.
Do it just like they're doing Rampage and have some kind of toxic chemical spill on the.
But like the point
Bandicoot.
of Crash Bandicoot is that he goes through obstacle courses, and he bounces on like boxes and stuff and spins around. It's weird and silly, but like giant monsters, if they were real, would destroy buildings, and that's why it works. If there was a giant bandicoot,
Okay, what if they
What's a
made
Bandicoot?
What about like a Grand Theft Auto video game or TV or Grand Theft Auto movie?
we have those. It's called Fast and Furious. They're just less R-rated,
Oh wait, True Detective season 2.
I guess. No, like I mean, like that's like you could, but like, what's the point of that? Just make a gritty crime series that doesn't have anything to do with the game. Like at that point, you're just cashing in on the name of the game.
That's exactly what they do though. Like
Oh, and I'm not saying they wouldn't do it. They probably won't, but like I think like
could you make Pac-Man a movie?
I mean they did Pixels.
No.
They did Pixels. And Pac-Man is
So
in
dumb.
Pixels.
But they needed Adam Sandler and some really dumb plots to pull off Pac-Man in a movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
It took Kevin James to bring Pac-Man into a movie.
That's hilarious that they put him as the president in that movie. He's the president in that movie.
God.
That's so weird. Like that's just like some
He was just over in Queens, just trying to get home.
being the king of the queens.
Jeez, look how far we've strayed.
Anyway, but no, I think Legend of Zelda. If you did that game, I think into a movie, I think that you'd have a big problem just like introducing any type of like story arc. Like it's mute kid doesn't speak, and then he fights a big giant green man. Or you could turn it into a series of movies where he has to track down those medallions to get the Master Sword to kill Ganon.
In this movie, he gets this relic. In this movie, he gains this relic.
Well, you don't have to do it all in one movie too, but you could be like it. By the end of the first movie, he's gotten one, and the next movie, he's got like 3 of them now.
That's something I've kind of wanted to see in like a, like a
He
trilogy.
can fight the fire dragon. What's the dragon called? Volvega or something? Something lame like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Pokemon? Make Pokemon a movie? Would that work?
Absolutely. They could even do it live action.
How? Like, how would it work? Not like they couldn't do the visual effects or whatever. But like,
CGI Pokemon.
but like, what's it about?
It's about Ash. It's about.
But who is Ash Ketchum? What does he want? He wants to be the greatest of all time.
Like, it's already
This
a
is my
TV
point.
show. Why couldn't it be a movie? They could stretch into a movie.
But it's a movie for kids based
They
on the
have
fact that
a
he wants to
Pokemon
catch
the movie.
He wants to catch all Pokemon though. That's his only thing
he wants
that he
to
wants
be
in
the
life.
very best. Isn't that motivation enough, Rob?
Not really.
Like no one ever was.
Here's why it bothers me, because I don't know anything about him. Like
All right, here's how they do the Pokemon
his mom
movie.
or his dad.
Here's how they do the Pokemon movie, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Everything that happens in, like, I don't know, the first season of the Pokemon TV show happens. But at the end of the movie,
Zombie apocalypse.
no, at the end of the
Boom.
movie, kind of like it, he wakes up and everything that happened was just like a dream. He was in a coma. He dreamt about being a Pokemon master.
But what does he do when he wakes up? Be a card?
Just be a regular fucking kid.
That sounds awful. You just ruined.
It's a tragedy. It might turn out to be a tragedy.
Sounds bad. I'd rather have him be a psychopath who keeps kidnapping animals and forcing them to fight each other forever.
It's a pretty bleak synopsis of Pokemon,
It's
Rob.
exactly what it is.
Why don't you just make me unhappy over here?
I'm sorry. It's weird that Digimon is not a video game.
Yeah, it is. They have a lot of You need to just...
Do they?
Why don't you stick to movies and I'll stick to...
Okay, I'm just saying. I watched Digimon like a year ago, and I was like, it's weird that
Digimon World 2 is one of the best video games.
I was like, it's weird that I used to like this. A little bit.
I kind of liked Digimon.
Sure. Yeah.
So eat your heart out, Angelina Jolie, because Alicia Vikander?
Vikander. That's right.
Vikander,
The
yeah.
lady from Ex Machina.
Ooh, yeah. She done stole your crown.
I guess.
That Tomb Raider crown.
It's okay. She put another gem in the crown. I don't know. Just make better video game movies. It shouldn't be this
Please.
hard.
what was crazy is like I noticed at the very end, like the opening credits, the movie is actually produced by Squaresoft, which is the video game company that took over the rights for Tomb Raider and rebooted it and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
They also hold the rights to like Final Fantasy and all that stuff, I think. So yeah, to have like the video game producer itself be on the credits of the movie, I was like, okay, they're serious about this.
Yeah, but they did that for Warcraft too.
Oh, did they? That
Yeah, they did.
Blizzard thing.
Yeah, Blizzard's big logo came on and stuff. I still feel like, I want to take it back. I feel like Warcraft is the best video game movie.
God damn it.
Maybe if you're really nostalgic, Mortal Kombat, but I don't
Oh,
even.
I totally forgot. How could I forget? It's like the jewel of video game movies.
Is it though?
It was what every video game movie wanted to try to aspire to, even though it wasn't technically a great movie.
It's not, what do you mean? Even though there's no even though technically,
If we're
it's
talking-
even though it's not a great movie.
If we're talking in staying true to source material, which it follows your idea of what video game movies should be. You take a game that doesn't really have lots of plot, lots
Sure.
of story, which
enough.
it's a fighting game.
But now Mortal Kombat does have a lot of story.
yeah.
Which is why I think that movie doesn't age well. But if you play some of the newer games, like the history of like Netherworld or whatever, was it Netherrealm?
Yeah.
The Netherrealm or whatever. I think that's why. I think that's why now it doesn't hold up as well, because we have like all these backstories to characters like Shao Kahn.
Yeah, but back then we
Kung
didn't
Lao.
really like.
I know,
so
yeah,
Watching
I
that movie,
agree
it
with
was
you.
kind of like, oh, that's so cool. Like,
The sequel's bad though. I mean, they're both bad, but the sequel's way worse.
oh gosh. No, there is something cool about the sequel. It's got Cyrax and Sector in it. That's cool.
They're just dudes in plastic
I
Power
know
Ranger
it's
armor.
so stupid, but I'm just like, it's like. Wait,
good.
that they did that Mortal Kombat YouTube series.
Yes.
What was it called?
I can't remember. Legacy, I think.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah, like
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved
was
that.
it Michael Jai White is Jax,
Yeah.
and they have I can't forget.
If I believe
Reptile is a man with a bad skin disease.
Yeah. So he gets like the Killer Croc treatment.
Yeah. Kind of like Killer Croc better. Just do that.
Jeez.
Just saying, you looked better. Suicide Squad won an Oscar. Don't. It's not a good movie. I don't like it. Yeah. It's about that time.
It is about that time.
We have talked ad nauseum about video game movies. We probably won't do another one of these for a while, except for Rampage. Then we might go back. I hope Rampage does dethrone Tomb Raider.
It won't. It won't.
Why? Why won't it?
Because it's dumb, Rob.
But people like things that are dumb.
Oh yeah. We like movies, but we don't want to be too smug about it. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'll go see Rampage, and I'll try to have a good dumb time.
Look, I think if they just like let it be fun and it's just cool action sequences and stuff, I think that'll be a win. Like, I mean,
Fair enough.
It's like going to see. It's like going to see, like, it's the difference between Transformers.
I'm gonna go see it with the same attitude in which I went to go see the Planet of the Apes with James Franco in it. What was that one called?
Planet of the Apes. Rise of the
Rise
Planet
of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
the first one's called.
Yeah, because I walked into that one like I was like, okay, let's see what they can do after old Marky Mark's movie.
It's way better. That's like, yeah. Those movies are pretty good. If you haven't seen them all,
I haven't seen the latest one. No.
it's pretty good. It's not like big and action packed like the title says, but it's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, you may find our podcast on SoundCloud. SoundCloud. He's a sound clown. SoundCloud. And you can find it on Podbean. Both of those, The Movie Date with Rob and Zach.
Get it?
Yeah. Next week, Ready Player One. And
Ooh, and are we ready? Wait, does this count as a video game movie? It's based on video games.
No, because it's not based on a
Just
video
the
game.
idea of
It's
video
based on pop culture too. It's not just video games. It's based on like Back to the
Would
Future.
Wreck-It Ralph be a
and all
video
that
game
shit.
movie?
No, because I was gonna say that, but I was like, but it's not a video game movie.
But it's
It just
got
has-
Zangief in it.
But it just has video game characters in it.
I
They
love
just-
Wreck-It Ralph.
But again, like that's why it's better than most video game movies. They take a story, like kind of a nondescript story, and then they throw video game characters into it.
We figured it out. We know how to fix your video game problem, Hollywood.
put John C. Reilly as a big man in it.
That's how you do's it.
Goodbye.
See ya next week.